So wait, you're from Colorado, right? You guys say Rado?
Colorado.
So are you like outdoorsy and all that shit? Mountain climbing, dude, camping, yada yada, or no?
Camping sucks because sleeping on the ground is a nightmare, and we've fought wars to never have to do that again.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, like I like the idea. I like going out. I live in Fort Collins, Colorado now, so I ride my bike all the time and like get in the river, go to Horsetooth Reservoir. I like that kind of stuff, but I also like knowing that my house is 20 minutes away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
do
but
like
we shot
that
guns a lot growing
are,
up and stuff. That's fun. Yeah, like a shotgun
when
in the woods.
When people are like, what would like these other generations say about like? It's like they would say, "I'm gonna sit on the couch and watch Netflix."
Right.
This shit is awesome compared to what I had to fucking do. Like, you guys
They'd
are doing it for fun.
They'd say all this work we did was not wasted.
Right.
We lived it to be 45 for a reason, and so you guys could have Peacock as well. You can have a streaming service you've never opened, but yet you pay $13 for it. Yeah, $13. That's the equivalent of like $150 to them.
You could like live for a year on that back in the day.
Yeah.
What's one? If you could have one manly talent, whatever you want to call it, ability that you don't have now. Like, for instance, like you could fix a car, or you could fight, or you could build carpentry, or any of those. What do you think it would be?
I would really like the ability to be completely sustainable as far as having, and I don't know if this is traditionally masculine, but having my own garden, living off of everything that I grow. I would like the idea of like if I'm going to eat meat, having killed it, having cleaned it myself.
But God, that part's the worst.
Oh yeah.
I think even worse than killing it is the skinning and the cooking.
I'll never do this.
No. Yeah. But it's like even if I had the
I like
talent,
books.
I don't think I would.
Yeah. You ever seen anyone clean a deer?
No.
It's disgusting. They hang it up, they gut it, everything falls out. There's just a deluge of blood everywhere. It smells like shit. God forbid they nick the intestine, because then the whole deer is just ruined. Yeah.
I tried to Google this the other day, and maybe a learned man such as yourself knows this. Why, who, and why, and how did humans think to cook?
Ooh.
Like, who was the first guy to be like, if we put this over fire, then we can eat it? That's a weird assumption to make.
I'm guessing someone didn't
accidentally
think
caught
to
on
cook.
fire.
And
Okay, so that's what I thought too. So
came,
you eat some raw meat and you're like fucking dead, right?
Yeah.
But then the next guy,
someone
being
came
like,
and it was Jamestown, and they were like, "I bet they didn't cook that." Let's see.
But that's what I mean. Like, okay, I think that's probably where it started too. Is like, well, we can't do that again because we all died.
Yeah.
But like, why would they be like, you know what? I bet fixes that fire.
That's
think weird.
I think it's the *Sapiens* book that everyone claims to have read.
Yeah,
they bought it at a airport bookstore.
Left it on their shelf.
Yeah. But I think in that book, or a different book, they said that the leading hypothesis is that there was some kind of like lightning strike, and then something died in that lightning strike. And whatever of our early ancestors happened upon this lightning strike, like the next day, found a bunch of like dead animals, and them not knowing that it was even cooked or that you couldn't eat like old game, they ate it. And they were like, well, this tastes good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
My body wants more of this.
Yeah, and then also it helps your body be able to digest it and absorb the nutrients better. So I think that those people who were eating cooked food, whether it was just a random happenstance or there was some kind of plan in mind, were the people who became stronger,
continued,
faster.
Right.
And that became the dominant lineage.
But lightning is an interest, like, because I was wondering how you happen upon it, but I guess lightning would be
like
it.
Fire itself is a totally novel. It changed everything.
Yeah, that changed. That was a game changer.
Are we all stoned and in 6th grade? What happened? This basement took me back.
We're literally now with the couches. We're now literally that meme with like the 3 children sitting around.
That's podcasting, man.
Yeah.
Podcasting is saying dumb shit into a microphone.
It's just having revelations, and then being like, whoa. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's probably what happened, man. It had to be random.
What do you got? Running the Light coming out? It's a
movie in the works, yeah.
Movie in the works.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. That's been just a joy to be a part of. I don't know if you ever had a book option, but boy, do they let you have so much control over the final project. Yeah.
So this is the book that we mentioned last time, like that the comedy world loves it, right?
Yeah, I'm
all
very
the comics
grateful.
are like, this is the most accurate portrayal of the comedy lifestyle.
That's what everyone's saying.
And,
I would never deign to be so ostentatious.
It's darker than you imagine, though, right?
It's incredibly bleak, dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's the accurate part, right? Is that the lifestyle is more bleak than you would expect.
Well, there's the comedy that everyone knows about, where it's like Jeff Dunham and Bill Burr,
Yeah.
and then there's the other 99% of the iceberg you don't see, which is people like driving 8 hours for $400 and no hotel. And that's the kind of world that, like, growing up in the mountain region and doing those early shows into Wyoming, the Dakotas, reservations in New Mexico, like, we did all those shows early because, it paid $200. I'm just
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
Well, that's so in New York. Sometimes I hear people go up for like $20,
Mhm.
and is that just because the clubs are like, we pay the rent, we give you the forum, and that's our part, and like
I don't
anything
know,
extra?
man.
Because sometimes to me, I'm like, God bless you guys who do it, because I love comedy, and I'm so happy that very talented, funny people stick with it.
Mhm.
Never in a million fucking years, even if it was my favorite thing, would I be like, I waited around and stayed up till like midnight to go up on stage for like $15. That's fucking insane to me.
I think it's a trite take on my behalf, but like I think that it's the same thing as like a lot of people don't understand like why you would sell your holes for heroin money. You're addicted to it and it gives you joy
I get- yeah,
in this
yeah.
like empty experience that a lot
Sure.
of people have.
Okay.
So
That
when you
actually
find
cleared it
the
up for me
thing
a
that you
little
like, yeah, when you find the thing that you like, of course you'll drive to Long Island City or
Mhm.
do 2 shows in Providence on Thursday like I did.
Yeah.
Which were good shows. I'm just kidding, but the second show, little handsy.
Yikes.
All right, yeah, a little. Hands out of your pockets, everybody. So yeah, I just think that like you'll do anything you can to like do the thing that gives you worth and puts meaning into life, and I think that that's why people do those shows, and that's why I drove to, Ravens Falls, Minnesota, 16 hours from Denver for $300 to perform in front of a bunch of snowmobiles. Like you do things because it's exciting as well, and everything is like an adventure. But yeah, after a while, it's the people who stick it out past the point of like 10 years and they don't really have anything going on.
Yeah.
Those are the people who should be incarcerated.
I always thought that about like minor league baseball players too, like these
Bingo.
guys
Or
who
bull
are-
riders.
Yeah, it's like, bro, it is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you're letting everything out, all the other things you could be doing, having a family, to pursue some other things, like whatever, all to like.
There's a lot of suspending the obvious and not living inside of reality when you start comedy and being like, this is going to work out. I am funny, like people do like when I'm around. I'm not just a fall down drunk, like there's a lot of things that you have to lie to yourself about.
Yeah.
And it's when that gets to the 10, 12 year mark and you're
Gotta be
still
honest with
lying
yourself.
and you have to
Yeah.
look in the mirror. But the baseball analogy is weird because that's something that you did dominate at as a child.
Yeah.
Like you were like probably
You
the
were at
best
a
in your
peak
town.
at some time.
Yeah, and then you have to admit to yourself like it's not paying off.
Yeah.
Comedy's the other way, where when you start, you're the worst person ever to do it, and then hopefully you slowly climb over a period of
But
years.
at least like for the baseball thing, like every comedian I imagine is at least the
was the
funniest,
funniest
of their
group
friends.
in their group. Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
No?
You met some of these comics. These are
Honestly,
people.
yeah. Sometimes I'm like, Jesus. fuck.
Yeah.
I have no skill at this at all, but I'm like, I could have got up there and made some like hacky, relatable jokes about pop culture, and I think it
Sure.
would have gone better than that set.
Yeah.
And you're like a professional,
Well, you guys are funny people, though. You know what I mean? Like, there are funny
Yeah.
people for sure, and you just happen to go into podcasting.
Right.
And that's totally valid. But the people who see comedy as math, those are the ones I don't want to leave alone with any children.
Yeah, yeah,
When they're just
for
like
real.
slowly like rocking,
Right, right.
And they're
It's
like,
like-
oh yes, Surge is Mountain Dew, and they have like the beautiful mind thing. What if it was
You see the
unmellow
Matrix.
yellow? Yes, yes,
Right, right.
So those people are the ones where it's like you were never funny.
Yeah,